right now, 100,000 naira might not look like much money, but what if I told you it's enough to start a farming business that can change your income completely? Most people think that you need millions of naira to start farming, and that is a lie. That is a big fat lie. So in this video, I'll show you 5 powerful farming businesses you can start in Nigeria today with just 100,000 naira. And number 3 might shock you. Welcome back to the channel, guys. If you're new here, this is where we talk about smart farming, making money from agriculture, and building real income streams. Today, I'm breaking down 5 farming businesses that are available to start, beginner friendly, and actually profitable in Nigeria. And I'm not just listing them, I'll show you, number 1, the starting cost, number 2, how it works, and lastly, how you can scale in the business. So the first business we'll be talking about right now is the snail farming. Snail farming. This is one of the most underrated farming businesses in Nigeria. Startup breakdown. This is the cost of starting a 100,000 naira snail farm. The first business I'll be talking about here is the snail farming. This is one of the most underrated farming businesses in Nigeria. You know, so many people look at it and, and bluff it off like, yeah, snail farming. What am I going to be doing with snail in Nigeria? How many people eat snail? But you're very wrong, okay? It is one of the most underrated farming businesses in Nigeria, and you can actually make a lot of money from farming snails. The startup cost breakdown. You can get 50 to 100 pieces of snails from 30,000 naira to 50,000 naira. Construction of your pen should cost around 20,000 to 30,000 naira. And the feeding, which is mostly vegetables and leaves, it's very cheap. It's something you can actually get in your environment. So this is why snail farming is one of the most cheapest businesses to start today in Nigeria. Why is it powerful? Snails, they reproduce very, very fast. Another reason why it's powerful is that it's very easy to maintain. And of course, there's high demand in hotels and restaurants if you have your way. So you don't need a big space to start snail farming. You can start even in your backyard. Now, snail farming is a slow business at the beginning. Snails are very slow. The business is also very slow. But once it scales, the profit is steady. You will be making millions on a yearly basis. So if you're patient, this one can quietly make you money while you sleep. Number 2, broiler poultry farming. This is one of the fastest ways to turn your money around in farming. Startup breakdown. From day old chicks, you buy 50 birds from 25,000 naira to 35,000 naira. You feed them from 40,000 naira to 50,000 naira, which will get higher. It depends on how long you want to keep them, which might get higher rather. And the housing plus basic setup, already if you have a space, what you need is the drinkers, the feeders, and the vaccination, which will be costing around 20 to 30,000 naira until when you dispose them. Why does this business work? Broilers grow very, very fast. Broilers can grow from a day old to 8 weeks old, and you see them, they are very heavy and they are weighty, they look very big. So it's a very good business for meat production. And there is high demand for chicken meat everywhere in the world. There is nowhere that chicken meat is not eaten, if I'm correct. So yeah, broiler meat sells everywhere in the world. And lastly, you get what? You get quick returns on your investment, because under 8 weeks, you can sell a stock, continue another stock, and continue to roll over like that. So the biggest problem or challenges you might face in the broiler business is that the feed is very expensive, and this is where most farmers lose money. So this is a smart tip here in this business. You can reduce your cost by combining this with the BSF larvae feeding. Okay, I'll be talking more about the BSF larvae feeding much more later in my video. So if this is done right, you can flip your 100K into profit in just 2 months. Number 3, this one is a game changer, guys. This is the black soldier fly farming. This is what many smart farmers are using to cut feed costs drastically today. Okay, and the startup breakdown is very, very easy. What you use to start up this business is very easy. The first is you might get the starter colony or the larvae itself, okay, which will cost around 20 to 40,000 naira. Then you need plastic containers. You can use any flat container that is having some edges, depending on what you have available at the moment. So you can get plastic containers for around 20,000 naira. That is if you don't have big plastic containers in your environment. Then also what you need to maintain your colony is organic waste. Of course, you need a lot of it. You can get that from the refuse dump. You can also you can also get pig dungs, poultry waste, and so on and so forth for this business. And why is this business powerful? The first is it turns waste into protein. The second is it's used to feed fish, poultry, pigs. Another reason is that it's very high in demand from farmers. A lot of farmers want this black soldier fly. People are beginning to understand what it does. A very proteinous feed supplement, and it helps cut down costs. Okay, so you're basically producing your own animal. Your own animal feed for free. Okay, so this black soldier fly, is a big opportunity for you to sell the larvae to other farmers. Okay, it's an amazing opportunity. Aside you feeding this larvae to your livestock, you can also sell to other farmers to make money. Okay, so you need consistency and proper setup to avoid smells and loss. So this is where farmers meet. This is where farming meets smart business, turning waste into serious money. Number 4, catfish farming. This is one of the most popular and profitable farming business in Nigeria. This is a startup breakdown. You can get fingerlings or juvenile 100 to 150 for 15 to 25,000 naira, if I'm not mistaken. And you need a small tank or a pond setup for you to start up this business. Of course, you can get a small tank for around 40 to 60,000 naira that can easily house 100 to 150 catfish. Then what you need also for the startup is the feed, which will cost around 20 to 30,000 naira. Why does this business work? There is high demand for catfish everywhere. Okay, there is high demand in restaurants, there is high demand in homes, and of course in marketplaces. You can sell directly to the market women. And another reason why it works is that it grows very fast. From 4 to 6 months, you can scale. You continue to roll over like that. Then the third reason is that it's a very, very scalable business. You can start with 100. The next time you want to do it all over again, you start with 200. Then like that, you continue to scale. So if you want to be successful in this business, what you need is combination. You can combine fish farming with black soldier fly farming, and you cut feed costs drastically. Because of course we know fish, they love to feed on black soldier fly. So if you're producing black soldier fly with waste, with kitchen waste, with pig dung, with poultry waste, you can feeding costs on your fish farm massively. You will cut a lot of costs massively. So this is where the smart combination comes in. You can combine fish farming to black soldier fly. You can combine pig farming to black soldier fly. You can just do it like that. So and of course you should know that water management in fish farming is key. So you need to be changing your water as regular as possible. And another thing you need to avoid in fish farming is overfeeding, because of course we all know overfeeding can kill your profit drastically. So fish farming is not just farming, it's a full-time business if done right. Number 5, vegetable farming. This is where most people look at it like, duh, vegetable farming, what do I do with that? But guys, I can tell you that this is one of the easiest ways to start making money very fast. And it's easy to set up, especially when you're having your farmland. Maybe you're having a plot of land, or you have acres of land in a specific area. All you need to start up this business is the seeds, which will cost around 5 to 10,000 naira, depending on how big the land is. Then of course the land, a small space for preparation, which normally costs, it depends. If you already have the land, then it will cost very little for you, for you to pay labor, people that will come and make ridges for you. And of course, watering system. You need a basic setup to water the plant so they can grow, especially when you're growing the plant in the dry season. Why does this work? You get constant feed harvest, especially when it's time for harvest, within 2 to 4 weeks for some vegetables. Of course, there are some vegetables that grow very fast. So within 2 to 4 weeks, you can harvest some vegetables. Okay? And there's constant demand for vegetables in the market. Some of them can be dried and be resold. Some of them can be sold fresh. So it all depends on how you want to get it done. And of course, it can be done in small places. You can do it in front of the house. You can do it at the back of the house, provided you continue to maintain it. The best crops to plant that I would advise you to plant if you want to start with vegetables is the ugu. Ugu in Nigeria, which is also called the pumpkin leaf, is a leaf that sells very, very, very well. It sells well in the market. And another leaf I will be advising you guys to start with is spinach, and lastly, lettuce. I have some friends that are into cabbage, some into cucumber, so it depends on what you can work with. So the reality here is that, guys, you need to be consistent in watering and taking care of the plants. Okay, you can't just plant the crops and leave there. Okay, you have to, of course, you have to be there, you have to take care of it, you have to manage it. So this is one of the fastest ways to turn small money into daily income. Now here is the truth. If you really want to win in farming, don't just do one. You need to combine them. I've told you already earlier in this video how to combine. Okay, and the smart combination strategy, let me repeat it again, is that you can combine black soldier fly with poultry and fish farming. Okay, you can actually do that. You use black soldier fly to feed your poultry beds, and you also use the black soldier fly to feed your fish. So you can do the combination of black soldier fly and poultry or fish farming. Okay, you can also do poultry, and of course it generates quick cash. You can do fish for long-term profits, and also vegetables, which will yield daily income. So that's how you build a complete farming system that is scalable. You start with 100,000 naira, like I said earlier, and you scale eventually. So there you have it, guys. These are the 5 farming businesses you can start with just 100,000 naira in Nigeria. And if you're serious about starting, drop a comment below. I would love to guide you. And if you want a full step-by-step video on any of this, tell me which one you want, and we'll take it up from there. Okay, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.